access, or you can hop over to Tools and then click on Connect MLS. So a couple choices here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one up. All right, so we're on, of course, starting off with my dashboard here on connectMLS. When you're ready to go ahead and make a search, to start a search, make it super easy. You just go up to the very top where it actually says search. And then you're greeted with a couple of options to perform a search. Under general search, you can go ahead and run a residential search, or you can go from search and then actually click on map search. There are ways to unlock your map and close it off and everything. That's what we're going to explore today. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and click on where it says search because there's other ways to get there. Okay, so when I clicked on search, I'm greeted with my search criteria screen. Used to seeing this sometimes. You're working with the client and you want to go ahead and specify any criteria that they have within their reach of what they want. That's one way to get to your search, just your regular basic search here. To get to your map search, you can either go up here under search and then click on map search, or well, hover your mouse over map search, and then click on residential. And what that does is it has the criteria over here on the left, and then it has my map on the right side, just so you have them unlocked at the same time. So you can go about it one way or the other. For today, though, I'm going to go ahead and start back over here where it's just a basic criteria screen because there are other ways to get to your map from here. Okay. So from here, let's say if I want to go ahead and fill some numbers in for some different things for my client. So in this case, I'm just going to build a simple criteria. Okay. So my map is off right now. There's a toggle if you ever want to turn on your map during the search. Or there's another way. I'm going to get to that in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and build this search. So I know I want to look up a single family residence. It's already in there as default. And I do want to go ahead and put a regular price point. Let's do 350 to 500. I think that's reasonable, right? I think that's within a reasonable budget. That's definitely within my budget. So we're going to go ahead and do it this way. So we set our price point up. I'm not going to set the subdivision because sometimes when you search for your subdivision, you might be limited off to your results. You'll miss out on results is what I'm saying. Same thing with cities. So let's look in a specific county. Okay. Let's just use DeKalb County as our example today. All right. Of course, when you're cutting down your criteria, your matches are going down. That's kind of what we want, especially for today's example. Okay. So under my features, let's go ahead and fill out some bedroom rules here. Let's go ahead and let's do 3 to 4 bedrooms max. Okay. Down to 206 results. We're just, like I said, we're just building our criteria for now because we want to see how the results turn out, right? All right. So under features, you're able to go ahead and select your different features in this section. You can start typing one in. I'm just going to use basement for an example here. And I can select the different types of basements that I want to. Or in this case, what I've done already is add basement in its own field. I know this is part of the search criteria class bootcamp before. So I'm going to show you how to add and remove a field in regards to adding a feature. So if I'm going to add or remove fields, I can click on add. And I'm just going to get rid of basement right now just by clicking on the X down below because those were there because I've already set a default search criteria up. So under filter, I'm going to go ahead and type in basement. Like I said, this is all explained in a previous bootcamp, but I'm just going over it briefly just so you have an understanding of how all this works. So Have basement selected, and I can shift the order up just for that reason. I'm going to click on Save Changes. So now basement has its own field. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. I'm going to select which basement I wanted. Let's do a finished basement down to 17. That's perfect for what we're doing today. All right. So I've done my search, or I've added the criteria to my search. And let's say I want to go ahead and view my map to see what's going on with it, with these results within it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on where it says click here to draw or select boundaries. I told you there was another way to get to my map. There's several ways. So I'll go ahead and click here to draw boundaries or to draw or select boundaries. So based on my criteria right now, my results are showing on the map all the way around, right? As you can see, just from clicking one thing, as my map is showing, you'll see that over here on top, we see where it says map on. That means the search is still happening. We're just looking at it from a different vantage point. That's all. Okay. So all of my filters, all my criteria is still set on the left side. But now I have this nice little feature that shows my map. So I'm just going to zoom into a few properties here. And as you can see, they're all identified by those green dots right now. That means they're active. How do you know they're active? Well, because that's part of my search criteria here, right? That's what we were looking for. Active, back on market, new, coming soon, and price changes. So that's what we were looking up. So as I'm on my map, I have a few different features that are shown here. So I zoomed in and I can go ahead and click on a result, one of my results here, and it gives me a small little snapshot of that property. So it's showing me the address, the price point, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and the square feet. So that's just on my map here. Okay. If I want to continue do my search, I can select this option to search while moving map. What it will do, I'm just going to show you instead of telling you. I'm going to go ahead and click on that box there. And as I move around my map, the number of matches are going to change based on the criteria that I've already set. So if I move to the right, I'm down to 0, but I'm going to zoom out some just so I can get a bigger grasp. So right now I have 3 matches because that's a part of the map. So that's just showing that option of search while moving map. That's where when you're dealing with a lot of properties and you kind of just want to get the gist of everything all at once. So I'm going to uncheck that. All right. Not a bad price point for that address there. Okay. So you're greeted with all these different options for when you're looking at your map. Also, when I have my map open, let's say if I'm doing a search and I just want to look in a specific area, let's just say the one that's specifically in Candler, McAfee, or East Lake Terrace. And I just want to work in this area of my results. I have 17 results, but I just want to look at the map and I just want to specify in this area by itself. I can select a boundary for it. So I can click on this polygon tool. And this makes it ready to go ahead and make a selection. So I clicked on the polygon tool where it says, click here to draw a polygon boundary. And I can just click one time and just click again and click again. Can't leave them all out. I'm going to click there, there. And then I'm going to close it off by clicking that green check and finish. So now I've selected an area so that now my matches are down to 7 because I just want to work in this area specifically. Okay. If I want to edit my shape or get rid of it or take it out, I can go ahead and click on where it says edit. So I can clear this out if I need to. And don't worry, my results are still there. We just haven't seen the results yet. We just see it from the map view. So that was just from building a polygon. You can do the same thing when you're trying to build a circle boundary. So when you're working with the boundary, usually I like to show this feature when you're building a CMA because you're able to select your mile radius. So let's do maybe 2 miles. This is based on where you are on the map. That's what it's building from. So let's do 2 mile radius and I'll just place it. Okay, just in that circle, I've selected 6 matches. I can move around my circle. Remember, this is all in the selection. So once I move this, I can click on where it says apply, and it's only selected the ones within this circle. Like I said, to get rid of it again, I click on edit and then clear. I can click on clear or just click on the X on the map. Back to my 17 matches. You see, all I'm doing is showing the functionality of moving around your map because sometimes when we accidentally open up the map, you're kind of overwhelmed. Like, wait, where am I? Just gain control again and you'll be fine. Keep in mind that it's showing me 17 matches because of the criteria that we set before. Okay. Whenever we toggle, when you want to go back and forth from your map to your result, from your map to your criteria, you can just click on where it says map on because right now your map is on. See how that works? Map on, map off. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on map on because it'll turn it off because it allows you to toggle from one page to another by being on the same page at the same time. That made zero sense, but you understand what I'm trying to say here. But I'm back to my criteria. If I want to view my results in the same way, if I want to get back to my map, I have a few options. When we were just the option that I chose to get to the map before, I clicked on where it says click here to draw or select boundaries. You also have an option to turn your map on. It just says off right now because it is currently off. Or you can click on where it says map results. So I'm going to click on map results. So when I clicked on map results, you're like, well, what happened to my filters? Don't worry, don't panic. It's just showing the map over here on the left side, and it's also showing my results. Okay, those are my actual results here. I'm just changing the view of it from a different perspective. Okay. Now, I just want to go back to my map, only my map. I'm just going to click on where it says hide list. That's my list of results. So I want to hide the results. I don't want to see that at the same time. I'm just going to click on hide list. Now we only see the map. Okay. You want to know why? Because we've hidden our filters, we've hidden our criteria, and we've hidden the list of results here. So now it's the whole map. The whole map takes care of the entire screen here. Back to when we were making selections on our boundaries and everything, you can still do that by going up here where it says click here to draw boundary. That hasn't changed. All your map options remain the same, and it's just like I said, just a different way of looking at something. So I'm going to click here to expand the map controls so you can be more familiar with that. So I'll click there. Remember, we just saw this, okay? We just saw the shapes and everything that were lined up before when we were just looking at those. Click here to draw a boundary, okay? So I'm going to click on where it says show filters so you can see what's happening. Show filters means show criteria. So it's showing me the criteria again. So you see what I just did? I'm just toggling my view with the same results back and forth. So I have my criteria, I have my map, and I can click on show list and I can have all three here at the same time. So if you want to work like this, make sure you have a big enough monitor and make sure you're zoomed out far enough so that you can work like this and just changing up in the means of just changing your workspace. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my map. So how do I do that? How do I get back to my map only? All your options are up here. Hide list, hide filters. Okay. So now I still haven't gone through all these options. We went through the polygon, which is you're able to make a selection of your choice. We went through circle, which allows you to do a circle boundary. And you have a square option here as well. So I'm going to click here to draw a square boundary. So same things apply. I'm just going to click and drag on my map to select a certain area. And now it's honed in on those results. So there are 10 right now. So we're good. Don't have to worry about that. That's fine. It just does the same thing. So how to get rid of the square? We already know how. You click on the edit, you can click on the X, or you can click on clear. Back to the 17 results. There's some other options up here as well on top. See this little icon that looks like layers? I'm giving away the answer, but yes, it says click here to display layers of predefined boundaries. This one's really cool because it'll show you some more information that maybe you were not aware of. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And let's say if I just want to look at the boundaries of specific counties, I'll click on county. And on my map, the view kind of changed. You're like, well, what happened? I'm just going to zoom out. And right now it has identified the county boundaries. There's Cobb, Gwinnett, DeKalb, Clayton. You get the idea. It's showing me the map of the different counties on the map. Let's go back here and I can select city. And it does the same thing. Redan, Lithonia, Panthersville. Funny enough, I learned that we have a city called Experiment, Georgia. First time I heard of it is when I opened up the map on Connect. I was like, wait, there's a whole city called Experiment. Anyway, it's down below. It's down south. So same things apply. If I click on postal codes, I get all the different zip codes and postal codes within there. Let's say if you're dealing with a client who only can be in a specific um, school zone, I can click on school districts and it has identified all the different school districts within there. Okay, school district's fine. What if you need to be in the right high school and the right property? If I click on that, it shows me all the different high school zones within those properties. You see in my results, look, I'm still working with the 17 results. They kind of cross the boundary with Columbia High School and Towers High School. If you need them to be closer to each other, you just change your criteria and you can see the different properties that are available within the specific school zones there. Middle schools, elementary schools, everything really applies to how you want to feature them on your map here. So I'm going to uncheck that. And just to bring this back up, I'll just click on the little X and it's taking me here. I'm back to my map. So remember, I can turn my map off, completely off. It'll take me back to my criteria. I can click on map off to turn it on. And over here on the right side, I can click here to show list. So there are some more, I'm going to explain those later in a little bit, but there are some more options, more fields, more ways to get back to your map by looking at your results. But I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to go ahead and practice putting in your results, or putting in your criteria, checking out your map, exploring those little predefined boundaries, and then we'll get back to the actual results there. All right. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to go ahead and practice, and we'll pick back up. I just looked up and I was like, wait a minute, the timer is up. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop that. Anybody have any questions while you were experimenting with everything and seeing how everything was laid out?
I have a question.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I came in a little late. Not sure if you've already discussed that. Is there a way we can look um per area, like north North Atlanta or
Mhm.
North Forsyth, South Forsyth area? Is there a way here we can do that?
Now, are you referring to the area, like the area boundary codes?
Um, Not sure what that means, but like they just said, my client said, I need homes in a South Forsyth area or North Decatur area. How do I look
Gotcha.
that up?
So in that case, if it's very specific in that way, we don't have we no longer carry that out through the area boundary codes, but you do have a postal codes option. So if you open up your map and let's say you're looking into you said Forsyth, right? If you I'm gonna actually
Let's just do North Dakota. I mean North Decatur.
okay, because it sounds like North Dakota is a different. Okay, so um, let's do so under North Decatur in this area here. I'm on my map with it. So if you wanted to select anything within this area, you have some options to select those boundaries, but make sure they're in the criteria. So I'm gonna just turn my map off real quick because let's explore that. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna click on this first and then I'll go back. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and let's say North Decatur. I want to say that is a let's see. I don't want to guess it's a city. It's not a I want to say is that would that be considered a subdivision or city? Hmm. I personally would go by the map with in this case.
Okay.
So if I go back to my map here, now I have all results because I disabled some things for my criteria. I would literally just go down to my map and pull anything within that radius. So let's say if I've selected a circle, I can go ahead and select, I'm going to click and drag on my map, select that area, and then go back to my criteria and see what needs to be adjusted for what they can actually pull, for what they actually want. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just from that area, because that's a specific and last year we took out the area boundary codes, but if you hop onto your map and click that layers, you can actually click where MLS area. That's the only place to actually see that. So just in case it's still needed, but
Okay.
so hopefully that helped.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. So I can reshape, resize the circle to
Hmm.
focus more on North Decatur.
Yep. Hmm.
So now how do I know what's part of North Decatur? I mean, because I see the circle includes Decatur.
Hmm.
So how would I know the difference if it's
Honestly, in this case in particular, I would not limit myself to the results from Decatur itself because if you put in Decatur under city, that's more particular in that area. I would just go off by site when we're talking about specific areas like that because you'll miss out on the other properties that are within the actual state. And if they're
got it
particular to North Decatur, they're going to miss out on whatever else is there.
surrounding? Okay.
Exactly. Hmm. Yeah,
All right. Thank you so much.
absolutely. All right. So I'm gonna actually go back home real quick because I want to reload those results I had before. So I'll go back to my search. Yeah. Keep in mind that any search that you do within Connect, whenever you get to that result screen, any previous search that you've done is gonna automatically save right over here on the right side. So that search that I did, you see, I went out and I'm like, oh, everything's gone. I'll click here, and it didn't. Let me try to do that again because I rehashed it, so it's not going to show those 16, 17 results. Let me go back because typically that it only works when you run through the results that way. So that's probably why I didn't load that time. So let me actually hop over here. I'm gonna get down to my result. Okay, there we go. I just need to add that. Had the finished basement. Had that point out, and it had a county. That's right, the cap. Because I got rid of my county. There we go. Now I'm back down to the 17 results I was looking for. All right. So from here, I'll go to view results. So after you do, I'm going to hide my filters here. So after you do your search, you're going to click on where it says view results because we did a search. We kind of want to see the results of how they look. Okay. So right now we're in under the list view for my results. So you see, I think we're kind of visual people. We like to see pictures of things, but this is another way to look at information, right? So I've done a search. I have 17 matches, and I have some options up here that's going to be a different class for that. But you'll see other I'd see a lot of the information here. I have price points, I have lot acres, I have bed. I have obviously have some information that I really don't need in this list view. This might be a little advanced, but keep in mind that it's still kind of in the way of when you're still in the same vein of when you're adding or removing fields. So if I go to modify columns, and I've done this so many times, you can see the different columns. If I click on edit columns, I can get rid of some things that I don't need in my list view. So I can click on the X just to remove some of the information that I don't need. I'm just going to do this really quickly. There's a little cheat code, you don't necessarily need it, but I'm going to show you how to do that anyway. Finished area, let's take that out. Okay. So I'm going to call it minimal list view. And I'll click on save. Now I can see the information that I actually need. See how I was able to just change some of that information that's being displayed? Okay. So that's one way to do that. That's the list view. Also, the next one up over here on the in the middle here is called thumbnail view. All right, it's giving me a little bit more information. Well, let's be frank. We're visual people. We like to see pictures of things. That's what I meant. Wait a minute. Not bad, Decatur. I like that facade. Anyway, as I'm looking at these properties here, I'll go ahead and click on gallery view. And this actually shows probably the most popular view of when you're actually looking at properties and everything too. So it gives you the picture of those different properties here. So as I'm scrolling down, I'm able to go ahead and look at those. Now you'll notice besides all these addresses, you see this little map toggle, map pen. I'm going to go ahead and click on that one because if you hover over it, it says locate on map. What do you think it's going to do? It's going to open up the map and it's going to show me where that is, that particular address, that particular property is. And of course, if I zoom out, it's going to show all the other properties that are part of my results. I can click on the map pen, it'll take me to that particular one, or that one, or that one. So how do you make your map? How do you make your map go away? Here's up here. Remember, keep that in mind. Map off. Okay. So if you look at your results, you're pulling up a property. If you click on the main picture, it'll open up those pictures for you. Those pictures of the property. This is not a bad property either. Mm-mm. And it's for wait a minute. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna get wow. Okay, I'm gonna get carried away. That's actually a nice property. They kept it up. That's what I'm saying. So not bad for built in 1983, right? Okay, so to look at those results, you can either click on the picture, it'll open up those pictures for you. You click over here next to the address, it'll open up that It'll open up that map view for them. But if you just click somewhere in the center over here, it'll open up that property listing for you. Okay. So right now, this is the listing information. Okay. You have your overview, your private remarks, listing details, property overview, exterior features, so on and so forth. All the information for that listing. And you can actually scroll down that page, or you can just click on listing and go section by section. Right now, we're on the full detail report. It's showing me everything it's being offered, even the private remarks. But if you're working with a client, you can actually toggle that client friendly. If you're out with the seller or anything, you can click on client friendly and it'll get rid of that other information that's kind of exclusive to you, like the private remarks and everything. But you can also go from full detail to your full detail with photos, which will open up all those photos at the bottom there. Or you can go to Legacy One report, one page report, and it'll just give you that one page of that for that listing or all fields or anything like that. And so on and so forth. You can click on the client version if you need to with that as well. If you click on where it says view 18, it'll open up all the pictures at once. So you don't have to go one by one with that. It's a nice bathroom. Let's put that tiling up. So there are some other additional options within when you pull up your results. I'm going to go ahead and click on where it says additional info. And it's showing me some other options that I'm able to work with under the results here. So you see under associated documents, it's showing me that these are already documents, disclosure forms that have already been uploaded when the listing agent uploaded the listing, imported the listing there. Some of them have them, others don't. You know, you guys know how you are. But in order to keep that additional info tab so I don't have to keep clicking on that, I'm going to click on it one time. And then I'll go up here and click on the pen to drop it down so I don't have to do that. So I can go one by one and show all the different results here. So even from let's start with under this reports option here. If I want to pull up some tax information, there's that option there. If I wanted to pull the property report, I can load up the MLS tax suite, which is also within your membership with CRS. That's what this one is. And it'll pull the property report up. Under CRS, this is the MLS tax suite information. This is the information that you can use when you're sending out your prospecting or anything like that, or doing actual specific property reports. So just from connectMLS, I'm into CRS now, and I have current owner, school zone information, tax assessment, taxes, mortgage history, all the way down to FEMA flood zones. So I can pull the property report from Connect. I have another option to pull the tax comparables from CRS. So I can pull some comps at the same time that I just have this property open. And I can specify any kind of comp parameter for the specific property. I have some other options here, listing and property history. And you can see all the history that's occurred with this listing in particular. Scroll down, edit the listing if it's your own listing. You can print the listing. If you click on print listing, remember these? We just went through those by looking at the different views of those results. Full detail, legacy, all those different views that you're able to go ahead and print. If you know this is the property you want to go ahead and schedule a showing for, here's schedule a showing for showing time. If you know this is the property that you're ready to make that transaction on, you're ready to get that going with your client. If you click on transaction desk, it'll go from connectMLS into transaction desk. where you can just literally fill in the blanks. You select that template that you want to use. Make sure it's residential. This is a whole nother class, but I'm just showing it to you real quick. And create. And then you can start that transaction from connectMLS into Transaction Desk. You can add any time when you're doing a search, you can add them to your favorites along the way. So if you click on add to favorites, you can add it to a folder that you want to use if you want to ever refer back to your favorites. You can start a CMA from one of the properties here, or you can navigate it with ways. Different ways to use this. I didn't mean to say that on purpose, but different ways on how to use this information that's on the side here. Also, let me get back to my results here. You have some other options up here as well. You have an option for email a selected listing. Now, what do you mean by selected? I'm going to go back to my list view, and you can do this any view that you have. If I go back to my list view, I can select. I'm just blindly making selections by clicking on these boxes here because these are my selections. Well, how do you know you're making selections? Up here on the top, see it says 17 matches, 7 selected. So I know I have 7 properties selected. All right. So I can actually click on where it says email selected listings, and it'll actually allow me to email these specific selections. I can print them. I can add these to my favorites. And there's another option for schedule a showing. This is a little, another little feature. I'm just going to give it to you regardless because I mean we are in the results part anyway. But let's say if I made these selections and I'm ready to schedule a showing. I'm going to open up showing time here, and I can click on add to my showing cart or create new showing cart here. Click on next, select the day and my client. And from Connect, after making those selections, now I have all those selections ready to carry out my tour. I can click on Smart Route. So it'll reorganize the tour in the way that makes sense in the order. And it'll show me how long it takes between those properties. So just from Connect, selecting those properties, I was able to go ahead and hop into showing time just by making those selections on Connect. Okay. You can export the listings to a file or change the sort for ordering, change the sort of the sort order for the listings. Start a CMA. I said that from that option there. Allows you to open up in Cloud CMA. Or if you just want to run a quick CMA, you can click that option with those selections I made, and it'll give you some quick stats with square feet, your days on market, listing price based on your selections. The seven selections that I was able to pull up, I can click on quick stats and charts, and it'll do a little chart for me as well. So nice little quick comp for me. On the next one, it'll show you direct driving directions. It'll open up Google Maps for you so that you can actually navigate that way. All right. So like I said, you're able to get back to your map by clicking on anytime when you see that map pen, it'll open up that property on your map. And let's say if there's some changes that need to be made with the results that you're showing. Maybe you just want to show all 3 at the same time. Remember, we click on go from map on, show filters. So now I have all 3 at the same time. So I went from my map, went through my map results. There are different ways to get to your map. You can go to search, map search. I'm actually going to give me 1 second. I'm just going to give it a second to let this all in. So you have 3 different views of your results. Have your results here, your map, and your filters, your criteria, all at the same time. To access your map, and this is just a little review here. To access your map, you can go from your dashboard here into search and click on map search residential, and it'll open up your criteria and the map for you by default. You can click on hide filters if you just want that map, or if you want the map and the list of results, which I just wouldn't do until you're done getting that criteria down, but you got a choice here. So I'm gonna click on hide list, or you can just click on search. You can specify your criteria, and then you can click here to draw or select boundaries, and it'll open up your map for you. And remember all your different map options here. If you wanted to center on a specific location, you can, especially for when you're doing a CMA or trying to just pointing out one space at one time, click on where it says center on, and you can type in an address, a city, intersection, anything like that from your map. And I can click on there, and I'm gonna put in an address I copied earlier, and I can press enter, and it'll take me to that address that I wanted. I want to test the theory, North Decatur, and it takes me straight to North Decatur. So, Junie, I remember earlier we were talking about if we wanted to be specific in an area, you can go ahead and center in on North Decatur and then build that boundary. Let's do 5 miles from out of North Decatur. I pressed 5. I'm gonna press enter, and it made a selection for me. With obviously that's huge, and I can make this even smaller by clicking and dragging from that circle. But like I said, I would miss out on all the results that are around this area as well. So, all right. All right. Any questions on anything? Do you guys need a little practice with pulling your results and seeing how they look? Now, now when you're talking about high, I'm seeing Donna's question is it possible to center on a highway like 85s between 2 points? All right, now you guys are hopping into that territory that's like, now wait a minute, let me see if I can center. I don't know about no, there's no way I can center on a highway. Like I can do that on my map per se, and I can make a selection on part of the like let's say if you want to be around this area, you're still prone to make a boundary. Like if you're trying to make sure your property is around 85 around Chamblee or anything like that. I'm gonna just use this as an example. If I could just click on um polygon, I'm just gonna select this whole area, this partial of 85, and I can select that based on, and I can put a criteria up here. Let's get rid of those things, those price points there. Oh, I got no, oh, because basement is probably, oh, because I have the county selected. So let me X that. So yeah, I mean, you can, there's a way to do it. It's just that you got to kind of finagle it to the way that you want it to work, Donna. So, all right. Any questions or anything? Do you guys need a practice session while while I'm here?
I have a question. When you do a search and it comes up and then you want to potentially see, if you're searching for when things were on the market, if I click that on market tab, it doesn't sort them. It doesn't seem to do that. Is there a way to sort that?
Now, are you talking about on your results page?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to view results here. Now, are you talking about the days on market or the
Yes, you could do days on market, but I would think that if you click that top tab, it would sort them, but at least mine doesn't seem to be working.
let's see, days on market. and it organized it from ascending to descending.
Mine didn't do that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, it should work. So yeah, just thank you for pointing that out because that's another way to reorganize your information from price point. If you click on price, it'll have that sorted out from ascending to descending. Or if you want to go here where it says change sort order for listings, you can change these. So Tony, if you click over here where it says sort order for listings,
Uh-huh.
one, you can actually select which one you want to be the order of what's being displayed. So if you click on days on market, you can have those ascending or descending.
Okay. Yeah, because if I click at the top bar, it's not sorting them.
Okay, that's odd. So here, let's use this as a workaround then. Click on change order, and then you can,
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I was able to work around that. So, yeah. Any other questions on anything?
Yeah, another question. When you put the radius like to center on like 5 miles,
Mm-hmm.
is there a way here to add a column to sort the distance? Like you see when yeah, I mean I can sort days on market to
Uh-huh.
show me the most current one,
Uh-huh.
but if I do a radius like 5 miles from my location, is there a way I can sort it to show me the one closest on the list?
Um, I know what you're asking. Basically, like what is the if there's a way to show on the list how far the distance from that centered property. No, there's
Right.
not on this one. That's a very intuitive, really good I want to keep that in mind. That's definitely something that's kind of good. Now, personally, like now you're able to do that through like when you're on showing time. So let's say if you have some results here and you want to make sure and it's not going to specify a center location, but like if I made the selection and if I go to showing time here, it's just what I did before. I'm just adding this to my showing cart. I'm gonna add that to my showing cart there, hit next. And it loads those properties in there. Oh geez, yeah, it's doubling up right now. So because I just added that there. And I can do the smart route. And if I once I specify my starting point, it'll show me the time of how long it takes to get to those properties from there. But that's my little workaround for that. So
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, there's not
Okay.
a specific way to do that on connectMLS.
Okay.
Sorry, the question, please. If is there a way to, I know you can draw more than one shape on your map. How do you work on each of them?
Now, what do you mean by can you be more specific with that in that
So maybe, for example, if I do a certain mile radius,
regard?
and within that mile radius, I want to draw maybe a, a polygon or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, how do I work with the list on the polygon?
Gotcha. Okay, so basically you're saying like, so I'm on my map now. Let's say if I draw a circle,
Mhm.
let's say we're working from a radius, okay? I'm just
Yeah,
gonna expand that. And you're saying like if you just wanted to work in another specific area within your
the circle.
radius. So
Yes.
I just want to select polygon right here, and I can still do the same thing and select within that radius. And I've made my selection. You just have to get those matches and everything. Well, actually, that's the exclude. Ah, that's right. I gotta remember these things. Whenever you do that, you're just be in mind when you're and this is part that advanced part. When you're doing that within that radius, whenever you add a polygon, an additional polygon, it's actually to exclude that from your results. So
Oh,
you see what
okay.
happened with mine? It took
Yeah.
away two results, and now it's just highlighting the other two. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you'd have to think in reverse, basically the ones that you don't necessarily want in that radius is
Okay.
what
Okay.
you do that way. Definitely
Okay.
takes a little bit of practice with that. So good
Okay.
question, because I
Thank you.
need to remember that too. So thank you. All right. Anything else today, guys? All right. So pretty much everyone will this will be available to you on our YouTube probably again for tomorrow. Next week's boot camp sessions on Tuesday and Thursday are going to be really focused on sending your automatic searches and everything like that. They're really good ones as well. I know this was like a lot of information in one session, but I do like carrying these sessions out because you get kind of this one-on-one focus on a particular part of connectMLS. So if that's everything for you, that's all I have for you today. We will pick everything up next week on Tuesday and Thursday. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this right now. We will
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
absolutely have a good
Really.
weekend.
You too.
Wow.
Bye.